give us your thoughts now that you're sitting there with a Celtic shirt on.
It's great. Like it's kind of been in the works for the last month or so, but obviously I was over just before the international break, and then I got called back to Ireland for the senior team, and now it's good to be back. I got back last night, trained today, and I can finally start like looking forward to games. And we've got a busy month coming up, and yeah, it's a great feeling. Like it's great, especially for an Irish lad.
How was the wait? Because obviously your name had been touted for a while. I mean, was it a huge amount of waiting about and seeing what was happening? Just talk us through how this sort of transfer came about.
I suppose it was first mentioned to me in the first week of August. Obviously, it was mentioned that I'd play a few more games for Shamrock Rovers until the European games were over, and then I would be moving after that. But it went on a little bit longer than I thought it originally would. But at the same time, look, I'm here now and I'm healthy. I didn't pick up any injuries, so I'm happy.
And you mentioned you're going away with your country there. How important was that for you as well? And how much do you think this move to Celtic will help you in that transition to the Irish squad?
Yeah, it was a mad week. Like obviously signing for Celtic, and then in the same week getting my first international call up. Like it's been mental, but yeah, they'll complement each other. I think if like this move to Celtic, it's a step up from obviously where I was at Shamrock Rovers, and if I can get myself into the team and play football here, I'm sure it'll put me in the window for more international call-ups in the future. But like right now, I'm focused on the next week or so here. A couple of games.
You mentioned that. Apologies. You mentioned it's a step up from Shamrock Rovers. What's your sort of short-term aims here? Are you wanting to break straight into the team, or is there a sort of easing in period, you think, for a couple of weeks? What's your short-term aims?
I suppose I'm just gonna focus on working as hard as I can in training and try my best to break into the team. Obviously, as a player, you want to get in as soon as you want, but if the manager thinks that I need time to kind of get up to speed, that's fair enough as well. But I suppose I'm eager, I'm young, and like I think I'll always be like that. I've always been like that, where I want to just get thrown in at the deep end and see how I fare. But no, look, it could go either way, and I know that, because it is obviously it's up a level from where I was, but I do feel like I have what it takes.
Hi Liam, congratulations on the move. You mentioned it's a dream come true for any young Irish boy to sign for Celtic. What are your family and friends back in Ireland making of the move?
Yeah, they're all delighted, proud. Like my family are so proud, and all my friends, they're all getting on to me already about coming over for games and getting them tickets. So yeah, look, it is big in Ireland. Celtic's a massive club and has a huge following in Ireland, and a lot of my family and friends are like just delighted that I'm here.
What, in your opinion, I know you can cover a number of positions defensively, but from your own perspective, where do you feel is your strongest position?
I suppose I'm comfortable playing in a couple of positions. I'd say my strongest position is left-sided centre back or left back, but then in the last season or so with Shamrock Rovers, I was playing left wing back. I've played in a back three with Rovers on the left and in the middle. So I don't necessarily think I have a strongest position. I think I can cover all areas kind of as well as each other.
I saw some quotes from one of your old coaches saying that you have just risen to every level that you've reached in football. When there's been a step to take, you've taken it with ease. Did you always believe and have confidence that you could reach this level?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose in the last year or so, when I was performing at Shamrock Rovers, obviously we won the league last year. We're top of the league this year, and I was playing every week, doing well. It was in the back of my mind that I could take a step to the next level, and it was about waiting until the time was right and until the right move came up. And then I suppose once this came about, like, it was a no-brainer.
You're one of quite a number of signings that the manager's brought in this transfer window. Ordinarily, you would say that number of signings, this team with such a new look will take a bit of time to gel, but do you think that will be the case because you don't always get a lot of time at Celtic to settle in? You're expected to hit the ground running.
Yeah, of course. Like it's it's a new squad, and obviously we're training almost every day. We're kind of, everyone's getting to know each other, and getting to know each other's style of play, and getting to know the manager's style of play. So yeah, I know that the pressure's on straight away, and that there isn't much there isn't much time to be kind of taking it easy and slow, and easing yourself in slowly. I know that, so I'm well aware that what it takes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a shot.
Thanks, Liam. Good luck.
Thanks.
Hi, Liam. Have you always been a keen follower of Scottish football, or is that something that you've maybe only sort of taken to a bit more recently?
Probably more recently, I suppose. I've always followed Celtic, like their European games, and I would have, if the European games were on TV when I was younger, I would have watched them. And like, apart from that, I suppose it's been a more recent thing where I'd be keeping an eye, because I know a few players who play in Scotland for other clubs and stuff. But yeah.
Is there any players in particular that you're friends with that you'd spoken to over here to get a bit of a taster of things?
I suppose I didn't really need to speak to anyone once this came up. I jumped at it, I suppose, because it's obviously a massive club and a massive opportunity for me. But yeah, like, I was away on international duty with like Jamie McGrath, St. Mirren, and I know a few people back home who would have played in Scotland as well, who kind of gave me a few tips, and yeah.
I suppose Jamie's a good example as well, isn't he? Having come over from the League of Ireland and gone into the St Mirren squad, and now started a couple of games for the Irish national side over the international break.
Yeah, exactly. He's absolutely flying. Like, I think he's a year older than me, so it's kind of someone I can look at and see exactly what he's doing, and replicate what he's done at Celtic. Like, he's a good lad. Like, he's down to earth, and I suppose it's just he's obviously put in a lot of hard work to get where he is now, and I'm just happy for him that he got his appearances for Ireland over the course of the week.
And you say, you remember when you were younger watching Celtic games in European competition, when you were a young lad watching those on the TV. Was that something you always dreamed of, being able to represent Celtic in sort of European competition? And is it exciting that chance is now ahead of you?
Yeah, completely. Like, obviously, everyone knows about the nights, like in South, the European nights in Celtic Park. And as a kid, like most Irish kids, it's either Celtic, United, Liverpool, one of them three. You're always thinking like, oh, that's the dream. And yeah, now I'm close to kind of fulfilling that. So
cheers, all the best.
Cheers.
Liam, have you had many conversations with Ange about where he sees you fitting in and how he sees things evolving for you in the next coming months?
I've had a conversation, but obviously it's been kind of a busy week. I was in, and then I was back over in Ireland again, and now I came back in last night. So we haven't had much chance to discuss it so far, but I'm sure that'll come.
Liam, just on that, Ange Postecoglou has previously said you're someone that he thinks has the potential to have a big future at Celtic. How encouraging is that to hear as a young player from your new manager?
Yeah, it's great. Like, it's great to know that the manager backs you and believes in your ability. And now, like, obviously I know it's up to me now to train well, put in a bit of hard work, show what I'm about, and hopefully get into the team. But it's a good place to start, knowing that you have backing from the manager.
You've been handed that number 5 jersey as well, which has a long history at Celtic, and the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Jozo Simunovic more recently. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill. Yeah,
it's true. I know it's a historic number as well, and I know what comes with it, I've been told. And like, look, I'm here to do as well as I can, and hopefully that's enough to fill the shoes of those players.
Talked about the step up as well already. Do you feel like this was the right time for you to make that step up, and how much of a step up do you think it is from the League of Ireland to the Scottish Premiership?
I suppose coming from Shamrock Rovers, they would be similar to Celtic in the way that they dominate possession in most games in Ireland, and the style of play, they try to keep the ball on the ground. So coming from Shamrock Rovers to Celtic is probably a good thing, because the style and the possession-based football, I've kind of experienced that in the last couple of years. But obviously it's a level above. Like I'm going to be playing in European group stages, and the SPL is obviously a step up from the League of Ireland. So look, I just need to keep going the way I'm going in the same trajectory, and if I can do that, I think I have a chance.